What up? How's it going, everybody? All right, so we're live. We're on Facebook. We're on the webinar, and some special stuff for you guys that are registered for the webinar and not on Facebook. Sorry, but hey, really excited to share this stuff. We're going to get going in just a few minutes, and we've already got a ton of people sitting here. Super excited to share this stuff. I just cannot wait, and I got an excited week coming up. I'm about to jump to Southern California as soon as we get off this call. Head up to Portland for the weekend, back down to Southern California for the 4th, and then back here to Phoenix. And we're crushing it in Phoenix right now. We're also starting to crush it in Portland, or it's been starting to for a while. I guess we're kind of crushing it there now too. We're looking at going into LA in the 4th quarter this year. So, but got some family in there, so it's going to be fun for the 4th as well. We're going to start here in just a couple minutes. I see we got people just jumping on from all over the place. This is super exciting. If you guys want, go ahead and feel free to jump in the comments. Let me know where you guys are coming on from. I'm here in Phoenix, and it's nice and hot. It's been super hot. So I'm so excited to share this webinar, guys, on how to make money in real estate without risk, without money. And people are like, what do? You flip houses? I'm like, yeah, I flip houses. And I'm like, well, and then they start talking about rehab and all these other things. I'm like, well, I don't really do any of that. Like, oh, you just flip the house. I'm like, yeah, usually that's who I sell it to, is the guy that's going to do all the rehab, the repairs, this, that, whatever. So I'm excited to share this stuff, because people are like, what the heck are you talking about? Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to do that other stuff, and I've done all that other stuff and we still do it sometimes, it's a ton of fun, but we don't have to do that. There's kind of a couple parts to the business. So we're going to talk about both of those, and then also a little bit about what you do with that money. When you're making all the money, you got to buy some passive income properties with that. So I'm super excited, and looks like we got people just coming on from all over the place. This is super cool. And gosh, I know I haven't got like my bankers on the call. I don't know if he's on yet, but I know he's going to be joining us, and it's exciting to see. So we got tons of people locally here in Phoenix, and I know we just got all over the place. And feel free to jump that in there. So we got Alabama, California. My frozen Gatorade here because it's like 110 degrees. So we still got about 3 minutes, guys, and we'll get going here. Just how to flip real estate with no risk and with no cash, and make a ton of money doing so, and have a ton of fun in the process. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a ton of people joining on here still. So I'm just gonna give it a couple minutes, and we'll start right on time here at 12 o'clock and talking about this and how we flip real estate and do so with no risk and with no cash. You can put cash into it, and you can do all that shiny stuff, and it can be a lot of fun, but do that at your own when you want to pick and choose. So even if you're doing a bunch of flips right now, how cool would it be if you could just do some flip hacks as well, where you just make a quick 5, 10, 25, whatever it is, and not have to actually touch the house too. So both parts of the business are super awesome, and we're about 2 minutes away, guys, from getting going with flip hacking real estate, and how to make money in real estate with no cash and no risk, and then how to take that money, buy passive income properties, and quickly become a millionaire. It doesn't really matter what age you're at. I know we got people jumping on from all over the place, all different ages, and it's super awesome. And let's see here. You know what? I don't know if we're live on the if we're live on over here. That's why I think it might go live on the webinar. I know Facebook's all seeing this. I think we might be going. It might not be, even though I started it. I don't know if it's actually going to show until 55 seconds, 54, 53. Everybody else might just be getting a countdown. So I can see everybody jumping on. I can see a little bit of comments, but let's see what happens here. About 45 seconds. And we get started talking about how to make money in real estate with no risk and no cash, and then take that money and buy passive incomes and basically live the lifestyle that you want to live, and do what you want to do, and scale and escape out of this business, as the men Kent Clothier and Sean Terry say. It really is a great strategy. So 25 seconds away, guys, from how to make money in real estate with no risk and no cash. And it's funny, people are like, that's such BS. You can never make money with no risk. All right, you can take risks. You can take risks, and you can use your cash when you want to, but you can also flip hack when you want to the rest of the time. And I prefer to just pretty much flip hack all the time. So here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3. I hope it goes live. See what happens. Boom. There we go. So we're good. All right, cool. So guys, you might have to to scroll down on the webinar, it looks like, to see. There we go. Hopefully it should be good. And welcome, guys, to the webinar. We're going to talk about how to flip, hack real estate, how to make money flipping properties with no cash, with no risk, and all this stuff is going to be super awesome. I'm going to get going here, and here we go. So start here back at the beginning, guys. Flip hacking real estate. Like I said, how to do it with no risk or cash. And it's going to be super exciting. We're going to talk about this, guys. My goal is that at the end of about 45 minutes of teaching, you guys can understand and see and hopefully have the incentive to go out and take action, and how you can make it that quick $10,000 to $25,000 minimum. And maybe you're already doing real estate and you think I want to do a lot more, and you're on this call, on this webinar, because you want to scale your business, do more deals, better deals. And so that's what this is all about as well. Guys, the process we're talking about, it's risk-free. You don't need money, and it's incredibly simple. So what makes this different? I like to think I'm a little different because I just kind of am who I am, and that's what I appreciate with everybody else. So I hope that I can kind of come across that way, just being who I am. I was a 1% real estate agent for a long time with Keller Williams here in Arizona. I still am a licensed realtor. I don't do any retail real estate for the most part. We'll flip properties and put them on the retail market from time to time. More often than not, even, I've got properties. I've got a rental property right now in the market. I'm actually having another realtor list, and it's in Arizona. It's just, real estate agents are great when you need them, but I prefer to spend most of my time flip hacking. So my background's in sales, marketing of real estate, the sales and marketing side. Prior to real estate, I was in the car business for about 4.5 years. That's where I kind of got my PhD in sales, as I like to say. I flipped over 80 houses in the last 12 months. Part of some elite masterminds. There's us down in Cabo. Me and my business partner, Mark McIntyre. You'll see some of our coaches down there. Justin Colby, Kent Clothier, Sean Terry. We're hanging out at, I think it's Cabo Wabo right there. Having a good time. That's pretty awesome group. We get together a few times a year in exotic locations and have a good time. Here's my Zillow account as of a couple months ago. Anyways, just showing some of the different properties we've done this year. I've done some great things, flip properties and had a ton of fun doing so, and bought rental properties and cool stuff. Here's a property up on Camelback Mountain in Paradise Valley, Arizona, that is just a spectacular view on this property. And it actually had a full casino, arcade, the whole works downstairs. Those are real slot machines. It's got pinball machines. It had everything. The movie theater. It was a super awesome house, like a 16-car garage. And I sold this house 3 times. We flip hacked that bad boy. And I wish I would have done it using the exact strategies I'm going to share today, but we did some pretty cool stuff with that one as well. At the time, that was when short sales were real big in Phoenix. And so we worked a deal. There's 2 banks involved. And anyways, we got that done, and we ended up selling the house 2 more times, which made it really spectacular. So I've done some things terribly wrong. And here's a property here. I'm sorry you guys on Facebook can't see all these pictures, but here's a picture here's a property out here. This one's in Fountain Hills, Arizona. We made $29,435 on this property. And it's funny that I remember the exact number, but I do. And I also remember my contractor going to jail during the project, and I didn't have a contract with them. And it was a nightmare. It was a lot of stress. I had a lot of money tied up for several months. And actually, I remember I was during the 4th of July when we were just about to put it on the market, which is funny because here we are going into 4th of July this weekend. But, we made money on this deal, but I did some things terribly wrong. There was a lot of stressful days and nights and all those things. So there's just a better way to do it that I found. And after doing this for 10 plus years, in real estate in general, I've been licensed for about 8. I've been flip hacking for about 4. I've realized that there's hidden deals everywhere. And there's 2, really 3, but more on that, later, that you can fund deals with absolutely no money. And you don't need to be great at sales. You can do this part-time. You can do this around another job, set up that income so you can start setting up that life, take that vacation. How awesome would it be if you could take a vacation in the next 30, 60, 90 days, somewhere you really want to go and know that your budget's okay. Maybe your budget's even better. Or maybe you want to set up, a year's worth of income, and you want to quit your job, or maybe you're super entrepreneurial. You don't even need to set a whole year aside, but you can do this around whatever schedule you want to be, and then scale it to what you're doing. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people on this call that are doing a ton of business already, looking to do more business and bigger business. And there's guys on this call doing 7 figures and 8 figures right now in this business that I knew were going to be on this call. So I'm super excited, and these guys can validate the stuff. but it's just an awesome business. It really is a hack, and that's why we call it flip hacking. So I discovered the hard way, but if you hang around, you get to cheat and take the easy way, because I really like sharing this stuff. So the hard way, in my opinion, is commissions. And real estate agents, like I said, are great, and I love them, and I know there's a ton on this webinar. But commissions, for me, has been a harder way to make money in real estate, and I'll explain why in a minute. And I know some fantastic agents, like good friends with top 10 agents here, top 10 national agents that happen to be here in the Phoenix area, really big hitters. If you guys were at Scale and Escape, I know you guys probably saw Brett Tanner up on stage, and I talked about the phone thing, and then Brett got up and talked about the phone thing, and I love realtors, guys. But for me, you know, being a realtor, working by myself, just fighting for commissions, trying to convince people I can sell their house for more than them, it was really hard for me. And so the easy way that didn't take up all my time, that didn't require me a closer, although I like to think I am a pretty decent closer, and I like to put time into this, and I did go to real estate school, but you don't have to do all those things. You can just, you know, basically get into a business model that, you know, if you don't have your license or you don't want to go get your license, you don't have to. If you already have it, then it's kind of a tool, and that's awesome. If you are a closer, that's going to help you, but you don't have to, because you're going to have motivated sellers calling you saying, I want to sell my property, and you're going to have a system that allows you to go, okay, solve their problem, make a cash buyer very happy, and you're going to make yourself very happy by making a phenomenal profit. And you don't have to take up all your time doing this, because you're making a large profit per transaction. So what if you could make $100,000 in the next 90 days with absolutely no risk or cash? Wouldn't that be amazing? That'd be awesome, right? So last year we flipped over $10 million in real estate here in Phoenix. Part of that actually was in Portland, probably give or take $1 million of it. Profited $1 million. But we also run other businesses also related to real estate. I'll get into that. You know, we've got the rental properties, and we do some different stuff. But guys, what's really cool is I'm also coached by, and a lot of you guys probably know, you know, Sean Terry, Kent Clothier, Joe Taylor. These guys are doing, you know, in excess of $5 million profit per year. So they have a mastermind I'm actually part of, and I try to share everything I learned from that with everybody. You know, everything that's not, you know, proprietary information. But you don't, you know, I pay you. We go to exotic locations. We have a ton of fun, and you pay $25,000 to be part of that mastermind. I mean, these guys, that's what everybody does, and then we go on awesome places, so it's cool. But guys, I understand results aren't typical, but I'm going to walk you through specific ways that people are earning ridiculous profits in real estate right now. Now, my results are certainly not typical, and the average person who attends a training does not get any results, and that's because they're scared to ever try. So, however, I am willing to show you exactly what is working for me for free, and this is not for get-rich-quick people or people who aren't willing to simply break through their fear and just take action, because that's what I'm all about. Laws vary by state, and I'm simply teaching strategies here, not giving any legal or tax advice. For all business, we recommend you seek professional legal and tax advice. Fair enough? How to flip houses quickly with no risk or cash. Let's get into it. There's 3 secrets of flip hacking. Secret number 1, and this is how you easily get tons of deals, and I can make more on a $60,000 condo than on a $600,000 house. I'm gonna get into this in a minute. And then there's secret number 2. This is how I get a one-click to sold cash buyers list, which is a huge part of the business. And then there's we might need a cord for that one just to make sure it doesn't go off on the Facebook crew. And then secret number 3 is how to eliminate all risk and the need for cash throughout the whole business model. So flip hacking secret number 1 is, guys, let's look at it. If you're a real estate agent, or if you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, and I'm not knocking it at all, great. And I have my license, like I said, I have for almost a decade now, and that stuff's all awesome. But you're fighting for 3%, right? So if you sell, because you're usually going to get 6%, split it, half that with the buyer's agent, unless you're in a discount market because it's so hot. You know, I know like Portland, a lot of 5.5%, stuff like that. But if you're fighting for 3% of a $600,000 house, you can make $18,000 in commissions, right? Then you're going to pay your team splits and your broker splits and your marketing costs and all that stuff. Your average timeline to get paid 6 months, because you got marketing, you've got inspections, you've got appraisals, and you got to wait on loans and all these other things. So to personally make $100,000 a month in that business, you got to build a huge team for sales and a huge team for deal management. And then you got to have management for all those people. And then you got to manage your sales, and you got to manage your deals. So it's a very structured business. It's a very big business. And in my realtor days, I'd list 20 to 30 properties at a time, very heavily short sales. It'd take me about 4 months from the time that I would take the deal to the time I'd get paid. And I was very heavy in representing cash buyers that could fund very quickly, but the 90 days of that 120 days would be working with the bank to get approval of the deal in the first place. I'd have sellers calling me 24/7, and they'd be demanding a ton of my time to explain things and meet their demands. There was so much paperwork, stuff to handle. The worst part was being totally dependent on the market. So what happened was when it shifted, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And that's when I found Sean Terry and Flip Hackings, right? So the benefits of flipping versus listing for me have been that, and again, I'm not knocking listing. I think, you know, if anybody's like, hey, I got a listing for you, Josh, like, oh, we'll get you handled. But I focus on the flip hacking because sellers already expect to get 6 to 10% off their asking price because they're going to pay realtors, closing costs, you know, all these things. So sellers will discount their house even more for things like, I'm going to buy your house as is, I'm going to close really quick. And where we make the most money, and Facebook's trying to reconnect, that's all right. Where we make the most money is things like random things that we can do to work out the situation. Like we're doing a deal in Portland right now. We're going to give them a couple bucks prior to closing so that they can move to their next property. And guys, who else is going to do that? We're going to buy it as is. We're not going through tromping through their property, doing all these things. So by doing that random stuff, we can create so much value for our sellers that we can get a phenomenal deal. And we're targeting, obviously, people that have high equity, so they're able to give us a phenomenal deal. It's a phenomenal deal for them because they get accomplished what they really need and want. And by doing it this way, you find out how motivated someone is to sell when you have an offer on the table, when you're really talking turkey. And so most people, and that's why I think a lot of real estate, or some real estate people don't get as much respect from sellers because they're like, look, what do you really have to tell me? Like, let's talk turkey. What do you got for me? All right, this is what I've got for you. And I turn around and the offer. So you find out how motivated people really are when you put an offer on the table. And with listings, you may have to wait a while. And you already negotiated your revenue, which is your 3%, 6% total that you only get half of commission, when you originally talked and listed the property. So I figured out for me that the moment when the money is made is when we can talk turkey and I can provide value for them and say, here's what I can do, here's what I can offer. And then they can say yes or they can say no. And we can talk about it and follow up and whatever. And for some people, their best option right away is retail. And I say, hey, got a great retail team. We can help you out with that. And here you go. But you can create those moments over and over and again and profit off them while helping sellers. And it's not like I just got lucky on this deal or whatever. It's like you can actually do this as a sustainable and replicable business and something that you can literally have pumping you deals. So it's awesome. The secret number 2 is so cool, guys. It's how to get a one-click to sold cash buyers list. So when I get a property, what I actually do is, I'll get to it here in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm getting so ahead of myself. There's a couple of common sales beliefs, right? Make the house spick and span to get it sold. Tons of open houses. I'm going to put it on MLS, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Redfin. But really, what people are thinking when they're thinking about selling their house is my house is special, and secretly they're praying to be lucky. So most agents really rely on the MLS more than anything, or Zillow and other sites to sell properties. And now I know the people that are on this call, their agents wouldn't do that. They would actually go out and get it sold, and they have systems and structures in place, and that's why they're here. Because if they're going to look at, I'm going to add wholesale to my business, holy smokes, this is insanely profitable. Okay, I want to do the same thing and structure it the way I've done my retail business. But what I'm saying is that professional buyers, so hedge funds, local cash buyers, all your professional buyers at all the different scales, they're not scouring MLS and Zillow. Yeah, they'll buy off of there, sure, when the cap rates are right, when the deals are right, whatever. But I mean, they might have to have software to scan it to have stuff even match that. And it's like a needle in a haystack for them. So typically, as a seller, you're subject to the current market. So how many buyers are already looking into my neighborhood right now for a house like mine? With my list, with the list I'm going to talk to you guys about, you can put any real deal in front of thousands of buyers who will pull the trigger based on the numbers alone. So my top secret cash buyers list, I use and I sell 75% of my properties in the first 24 hours with this list. I sell my properties for asking price with this list. And these cash investors buy with no contingencies. So they close in a week and they can't back out of the deal. So how great would it be if you could get a deal under contract, seller calls you, hey, this is what I need. Okay, great. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a phenomenal deal on this house. And the seller's really happy. They're walking away with so much money and they need this. And I know I can deliver that for them. Boom, put together an email and then boom, your phone rings. I want to buy the house. Okay, but this is what I need from you. Done. I'm getting paid next week. So, and I have calls with me actually on that call that I've recorded. It's really cool. But I sell my properties for asking price with this list. There's really no negotiations with that investor when they want that property. They're like, okay, they know it's a phenomenal deal. And these cash, like I said, there's no contingency, so they're not going to back out. They can't back out. And I do that they put $5,000 non-refundable deposit just to get that deal and lock it up for them, so they won't back out. They know it's a phenomenal deal. Agents know cash buyers, and licensed agents oftentimes are the cash buyers, right? So that is a huge source for finding these cash buyers. And title companies in your area will actually give you this list for free. So you want to get with them. I have a template that you can get with the title company that they will give you. And we got overnight, and I actually just updated this last week. I don't know if I told you about it from our local title company, but a list of, there's like 33,000 agents right now in Phoenix. So we got the whole database comes in, boom, goes in. Now when we get a phenomenal deal, what do you think those deals go to? Hey, realtors, boom, and they can go do what they do best because realtors are awesome. So then they're going to go help us sell those properties. But a lot of those realtors actually are the cash buyers themselves. They're people like me who don't really do a lot of retail real estate, but they do have a real estate license. So they're now in that database. And real quickly, guys, you're going to have the biggest buyers in town reaching out to you when you're sending these deals out to this list, and you put it together that quick. So here's an example of a blast we did, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, whenever this was. This property sold, real quick, but basically the subject is very important. And then you want to have a picture of the front of the house, a good, the best picture you can get. Whatever is in the subject is going to be huge because that's going to get them to open up the email. If they don't open up the email, how are they ever going to buy it, right? So you're already putting it in front of the people that you know are going to buy it if it's a great deal, that are in real estate and whatnot. And you got tens of thousands of them, depending on the market, but you should at least have thousands. I know our database for Portland's, still several thousand, about 10,000 or whatever it is. And so then you're going to have that headline's got to be huge. So for us, we like to hit the location, how much equity and spread there is, and then another word if we can to trigger some emotion, gold, right? So gold in East Phoenix. So we hit the location, the money, and the trigger word. And then this line right here is super important. In this case, we put 3/2 house, super condition. So 3-bed, 2-bath house, super condition, 1,500 square feet with big backyard. And we were basically, that's the second line in the email. So when they get the blast, they're going to see the subject. And then like on an iPhone or a smartphone, they'll also see the second thing. So in this case, they would see Golden East Phoenix, instant 30,000 equity, 50,000 spread if you flip it. And I'm going to talk about the difference here in a minute on what that means. But they're already on top of that. And a lot of you guys probably already are too. And then they're going to see 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, super condition, 1,500 square feet with big backyard. So if I see that in Phoenix, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to look at that. And then they open it up. Okay, it's got the address, fully disclosed. There's a nice picture of the front of the house. And then we put incredible deal, click here for pictures, wholesale price, highlight that. In this case, it was $105,000. We put as is value. In this case, it was $135,000. Now, as is value means as is retail value. And then ARV, which means fully fixed up, remodeled, on the market. What's it going to sell for? In this case, it was $165,000. So we're putting out a house at $105,000 that we could sell for, that you could resell for $165,000 if you fixed all up, or you could sell it for $135,000 as is and just have some cost of money and some little bit of risk and a little bit of this and that. So we do the flip hack. We get it for, I think we had this property for like 80. We got it for 80, and you can look up that house right there, and you'll see what it bought, what we actually closed on it for. It might have been more than 80, but I don't know. We made it, whatever it was, 10 or more thousand. And we wholesale it because our assignment fee is on top. So we sell this for 105. Let's say we have this under contract for 95, for example. The 10,000 goes to us. The buyer, we assign our place in our position in the contract. So we get the property for $95,000, and we go to the buyer and we say, hey, you can buy this for $105,000. Now, when this buyer calls me, I say, hey, okay, it's $105,000 plus you pay all the closing costs. I send them a one-page contract that says you're going to pay a total of $105,000 plus all closing costs, and you're going to take my position in the underlying contract, which is the same terms for less money, and they don't see the difference. They deposit $5,000 non-refundable, and they're happy to do it because, again, they're buying a house that's worth $135,000 as it sits for $105,000. They deposit the $5,000 at the, what did it sell for? Do you have it up here? 115. Oh, it says 115. It must have resold. I'd have to take a look into that. You guys all on the coaching calls, we can pull up this address again. So we, and that happens a lot because our buyers reflip them. So on this house, we sold it really quick for the 105. They fund the difference, and they don't see the difference until they go to close. They still don't see it because it doesn't affect. It's just like if they paid 105 plus closing costs. It's just that they're actually paying 95 plus 10 to us plus closing costs, but it's all through. They just wire in the one amount or write one check to the title company. Title company takes care of everything. So the way it works, we get a seller under contract, take it to the title company. We send it out to our buyers list now that we have equitable title because we have a deposit on the property and we have a contract to buy it, which gives us the right to sell it. Then we just say, we're just going to sell our position in the contract. and we just make the difference. And the reason we prefer to make just the difference, and this is flip hacking as opposed to owning it and then reselling it, is because we don't have carrying cost risk. We don't have to come up with down payment. We don't have to come up with rehab, any of this stuff. So back to the way we blast this out, guys. Then obviously you put in the property details there after you've highlighted how much money they're going to make. In this case, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,434 square feet, and 2 living rooms, tile throughout, block home, roof was approximately 5 years old. So it's just kind of the main points. Big backyard, fenced front yard, fireplace, covered front porch, large covered rear covered patio, backs to an alley. The link, huge again, pics, click here to view, which takes into the pictures. And I will show you guys too in the academy how exactly you do the pictures. It's very important you position the house perfect so it sells without positioning it as something that's not, because that's very important that you do that all right. And then it's got my number on there. You put the comps that you want them to see, that they need to see, and then you got the disclosure right there that says $5,000, all that stuff. They'll look at that kind of, but really a cash buyer's going to look at it, go, oh my God, this is a great deal. They call you and they're going to go, what do I need? You're going to give 5,000. You give me, I'll send you the contract right now, and we need to close next week. And they'll go, okay, because it's a great deal. So then after that, there's the thing, and then I send it through. There's it going through to our Phoenix. So we've whittled our buyers list down because we get rid of all the agents that don't really want to see them or whatever. So, and we've refined ours over the years, and then we pull a new one, like I was saying, we just got last week, and we'll update it. And there you go, buyers go, shut up and take my money, right? But overnight, using my buyers thing, you'll get a buyers list of like that or more, and then it'll dwindle down really quick the first time you blast it, and then a little bit each time, but like a little bit, and it'll just get better and better. And then people are sending it everywhere, so it's growing at the same time. The bad ones are falling off, the good ones are coming up. And everybody goes, shut up and take my money, because they want the deal. So that's awesome. And then flip hacking secret number 3, this is what we do to eliminate all the risk. And I kind of just talked about this. So many successful realtors start flipping properties. Flipping properties typically takes a lot of money to do. You got down payment, repairs, high interest, carrying costs. And I've done a ton of flips. Like I showed you guys the house out in Fountain Hills where the guy went to jail. So, you know, flipping's awesome. Don't get me wrong. And if you're already doing flipping, you just want to do more deals and be able to do some flip hacking on the side with deals you don't have time to rehab. That's all great. But with flip hacking, you don't have to, again, this is why you would do it. No down payment, no repairs, no high interest, no carrying costs. So even general contractors know that don't know what they're going to find behind walls. So fix and flips, they take a ton of risk. And many actually, if you look at, in a lot of markets, if you look at old age properties, so properties that have sat on the MLS for like 90 days longer, 180 days, whatever, in a lot of markets, you're going to see a ton of flips because people overpay, they get into it, they didn't know they're going to come across whatever it was, and they sit on it, and now they're like, do we take a loss? What do we do? And if they own it outright, sometimes they'll sit on it and tie up the capital and take the loss kind of in a phantom way. And if they're paying hard money, then it's a very real painful way where you're losing money every night. And I've gone down that road too. I've actually never lost on a flip, but I've been in flips where they strung me so thin that it was really hard just to get by until I sold it and got all my money back, and that sucks. But I do still fix and flip properties, and we do flip properties. There's a time to do it, and then there's a time to flip hack. And flip hacking is what I focus on. That's what's life changing. Fix and flips, they do take a ton of risk, no matter what anybody says. And like I said, a lot of them that don't sell properties on the market end up being fix and flips, and it's a really nice house. Why hasn't it sold? So the old model was you put 20 to 25% down to go get the loan, and then you paid a 12 to 18% interest, plus you paid 2 to 4 points up front. So you're buying a house for, let's say, $300,000. You might pay $6,000, $9,000 up front just in fees, plus you're going to pay then 12 to 18%. So on a $200,000 loan at 18%, that'd be $3,000 a month. At 18%, or is that what I said? I already 18%. So $300,000 loan at 12% would be $3,000 a month, right? So yeah, 300 at 12%, $3,000 a month. At 18%, $4,500 a month. If you had a loan for $300,000, so it's a very high carrying cost, and then you're coming out of pocket for the rehab. Sometimes you can get that wrapped into the financing. It's a pain. Most lenders are going to do like a draw system as you go, so you got to deal with all that. It takes 4 months to get paid, and that's if you're really good. You know, with permits, contractors, inspections, appraisals, agents, underwriting, you need a huge discount off retail to make the numbers work from the get-go on the property, which there you go, right from the get-go, you could have just flip hacked it and made the money. So you can lose really big doing this too at the end of the day. The new model, you don't need money. You can't lose money. You sell the property with one click and you get paid in a week. So it's fantastic. And there's no money needed for this. So you have equitable title, which as I talked about, it's an immediate asset. So as soon as you sign the contract with the seller, you deposit your earnest money, you have equitable title, you can market that property in almost all states. I believe all states. I know for sure all the ones we operate in, and we know guys in all states. I know some states are different. South Carolina, like my buddy Jerry Stevens, you got to go in and report it, at the with your lawyer. I know that's common in certain states, and sometimes the way that the paperwork's done is different with title and stuff. But generally speaking, the way you can buy and sell is the same everywhere. It's free, and actually in most of the developed economic nations of the world, you can do this. It's just basic contract law. So there's no risk, and the whole contract is contract subject to funding partners' approval. So you don't have to have inspections periods and clauses and this and that and a million other things. You can have it be very simple, easy for the seller to understand and agree to and be like, this is awesome. But if you run into a problem, then you can say, I can't get funding partners' approval, but I can at this price, and it usually will still go through. Or you can back out of the deal if you absolutely have to. And or if the seller would like to, you can give them the choice. And we put it through the process really quickly. So we always leave our sellers in great positions. We don't back out of very many deals at all. We know going in, this is a deal or this is a situation, okay, and we make it all work. So you can profit without ever actually owning the house, because again, you sign the contract with the seller, goes to the title company with your deposit, sign a contract with the assignment where you're signing your position to the buyer in the contract. He goes there, and I think that's like the next slide. There it is. So then he takes your position. Now they go, you're done. You don't have to sign anything else. You just wait for your check at closing. But the seller goes in and signs, that buyer goes in and signs, and the title company gives the buyer their money, the seller the deed, and gives you your assignment check. It's fantastic. Just like they pay the taxes and everything else, you're just one of the things they pay. So with flip hacking, deals are easy to find and get if you know where to look, and you can't lose money. You sell properties with a quick. I already said this. Sorry, I went backwards. So imagine only needing to make offers and send an email to get paid. Like, how awesome would that be, right? Just make offers. You got people calling you. I want to sell my house. This is what's going on. All right, you look at it. You know how to underwrite it. You make an offer, and they accept it, and you send an email, getting paid next week. That's amazing, and that is life-changing, and that's how we do this, and now replicating that and doing it over and over. So there's no hard selling sellers. You don't have to find these buyers. They're going to come to you. You don't have to rehab it if you don't want to, and you don't need to be rich to start. You don't need the capital. So what if you could make $1 million this year without risk or without cash? Justin Williams, and I think he's in Florida, he flip hacks. And he had a couple of students a year ago. He said, if you guys make $1 million this year, I'll pay you on vacation. He just posted the other day on Facebook, them from like Fiji or something, like doing cartwheels on the beach, and he had sent them there because they did it. So you can look him up at Facebook, Justin Williams, I think it is, Flip HQ something. Anyway, this stuff's for real, guys. So what if you can make $1 million this year without risk and without cash? How incredible would that be, and how incredible is that? So it's awesome. What would it feel like to make $100,000 in 30 days? That'd be pretty amazing. So let me ask you a question. I know some of the stuff I've talked about, some of you, I'm guessing you might feel a little bit like this, right? You got the hose in the kid's face, like holy smokes. And an hour is not a lot of time. So I totally get that. Well, what if we could help you guys implement this stuff? And what if we could give you a membership to our private flip hacking community, and with easy video instructions, every step, all the contracts, all the templates, the scripts, the systems, and the process if needed, and then access to me through a private Facebook community. So this last hour can just be something that's really cool, and that you can now better understand flip hacking and real estate in general, and that's all awesome. But information alone is certainly not going to get you where you want to be. It won't get me where I want to be. So you need the complete flip hacking package, because that's what's going to change your life. So Facebook, I look forward to seeing you guys a lot more, and check out the next webinar. All right, guys. So that's what you need to change your life. And my 5-year plan was be with Bubba in the summer. When this was when I first had my now 6-year-old, I wanted to pick him up from school. I want to go to all his field trips and class events. He was born on January 8th, 2011. There he is right there. 7 pounds, 13.6 ounces, 19 inches long. Bubba, Joshua Gaiman 2. There he is at my first rental property I ever bought, hanging out. I used to take him to work when I was first in real estate, hustling as a realtor, doing short sales and stuff. This is in more recent years, coaching varsity football. There I am down at the University of Arizona. Friday Night Lights up on the top left, and on the right there, we play in one of the, and then in the background, that's in Sun Devil Stadium at ASU. We play in the one of the most competitive leagues in Arizona for football, so it's a lot of fun. And there I am with my family up in the snow, Disneyland, my wife at the beach, where we're going to be here as soon as I get done with this call, heading off to. So guys, what you're going to get if you guys decide, hey, I want to be a part of all this, and bear with me, guys, till the very end, please. Don't get focused on the price at all. Just only pay attention to what you're going to get, and I'll bring it all together for you. I promise. the 1, 2, 3 motivated seller marketing setup. Guys, it's a $5,000 value that can be done with free or paid advertising depending on your scale. So if you don't have money, but you need to get going and you need to get your first check, you can do this and then take that money and start marketing, which is an awesome way to do it. And if you already have money, then you can turbo boost right away. I give you both systems, the direct mail, the calling, how to do the calling. So how to do the calling, like, okay, how do I call 10,000 people in a day and then have them call me back, the ones that want to sell, and have leads coming in like an hour? And what list do I do if I'm going to do that? And then what do I say? What do I send to them when somebody's going begging me to sell in their house and I'm looking at it going, is this deal for real? Holy shoot, is Josh for real? And then you get the transaction manual, so you know what to send to them. Like I said, it's a 2-page buy contract. So the contract between you and the seller, 2 pages. And oh shoot, you know what? I didn't screen share. Hang on just a sec. Guys, I'm so sorry. So let me come back into it. You guys weren't seeing the thing either, and I apologize. All right, here we go. What you're going to get, so you get the marketing setup, the transaction manual, the title company's buyer's list, and then you get a month of free coaching calls. So with the 1, 2, 3 motivated marketing setup, that's everything you do to get your phone ringing off the hook. And then with the transaction manual, that includes the contract to buy it and then also the contract to sell it to the person that ends up buying it. And then the title company's buyer's list script, that's the title, the email that you send to the title company where they'll send you a buyer's list of tens of thousands of agents, depending on your market size in your area, which is where you're going to sell all your properties to. They'll know the cash buyers or will be the cash buyers. And then you're going to get a month of free coaching calls. So we do every other week, we do a coaching call, and it's really cool, called the Boardroom, and we go over what's going on in different markets. Sometimes we'll bring on students, or we'll talk about what's going on right now, this list that worked awesome, whatever it is, this new system that helps us with the calling thing, whatever it is, great. So bonus number 1, if you jump in, as you're going to get the motivated seller lead scripts. Now it's a $1,000 value, and this is only for the first 30 people that jump on this call today. I expect it to go incredibly quickly. Bonus number 2 is the cash buyer scripts. And that's another $1,000 value. So now you know exactly what to say to them, and it's all in there. And I even have videos of me saying it and showing you guys and explaining it. It's really simple. You can go through the whole thing in a weekend as far as like the business in the box. It's great. So the cash buyer scripts, you're going to get the whole marketing thing, guys. So everything you need to get the phone ringing off the hook with people that I want to sell my house to you quickly now. The manual, so the paperwork, how to put it together, how to get the buyer's list, then the coaching calls, so you got the support as you're going through all this stuff, and then the script, so what to say to everybody. It's just too easy. Everything you need. There's nothing else you need. Guys, Robert Kiyosaki, and there's me with him in this picture, he taught me that, and he teaches in his book, if you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he's got some phenomenal books, the difference between assets and liabilities, and he talks about financial education. And basically the key is that, look, money replenishes. So with most people, it's just income to expenses, and it's just a loop, like whoop, whoop, right? But if you can take your income and put it in assets, now the assets also have money coming into the income column, plus you have your income coming if you're still working for money, right? And the idea is that you just have all your money's coming from the asset column to your income column. Your income column then buys assets, it continues to buy more, your income grows, and you can easily pay off all your expenses and whatever liabilities you want. So this system, guys, works for people who want to make a lot of money and people who want to have more free time, and money to enjoy it. So it works for realtors, investors, people brand new to real estate, young people, old people, works for men, it works for women. And one thing, this is crazy, I just got goosebumps right now because I already had the slide together, but this morning, Coach Rooker, my high school varsity football coach, at Glencoe High School up in Hillsboro, Oregon, where I played high school too long ago now, but he still coaches, and he's the second winningest coach in Oregon high school football, and he was on Oregon Live, and that was the thing, so I just shared that. But anyways, he used to always say that there's 5 big plays that win championships. And I remember some of my big days, right? The day that I quit my job and went for it in real estate. And I don't recommend you necessarily do that, but imagine just doing that in the next 12 months. How great does that feel? So I remember the night I found the strategy online when I found Sean Terry and I bought the course, and immediately, and even though I didn't know how I was going to pay for it, and I just did what I had to do, and then sat there and visualized and wrote down the cities I was going to go into and how I was going to build this business. And now, like, plugging into Sean, it's all happening. It's awesome. And so I just want to keep that going. And then I remember when I flipped my first property. I remember when I flip hacked my first property. I remember when I sold my first property using this buyer's list technique I told you guys about, and it just exploded how easy it was to sell properties anywhere. And when I got my very first deal, this is a top secret, best lead source lead and deal. I'll talk about in the academy. So bonus number 3, you get a 30-minute consultation with me. It's a $2,000 value, and the price of that's actually rising. Comes from so many people, and I'm like, well, just join the academy then, because that's so seriously, and I love everybody and I love the interaction, but it's so much. And then I'm like, but there really is a lot of deals going on too, so it gets tough. But definitely setting aside this 30 minutes for the first 10 people, the $2,000 value, where we can talk about where you're at, where you want to go, what you want to do, and how we can help you get there ASAP. So what you're going to get, guys, is how to get your phone selling with ringing with sellers that want to sell you their house. You're going to get the documents, the simple documents, to put it under contract with them, and then put it under contract to get paid. And then you're going to get the email that you just literally copy and paste to the title company, and you're going to get your own buyers list overnight. And then you're going to get a month of free coaching calls. And then you're also going to get the scripts with the videos and everything as far as what to say to everybody. And then you're going to get the consultation with me, which is going to be awesome, and I can't wait for it. So 100% satisfaction or your money back. I have a no BS guarantee. So what that means is that if for anything you don't think it didn't work, it's BS, then you get your money back. But what that's predicated on is, did you actually do all the steps? Not took one step and gave up. Well, you said do this and whatever. No, because as I disclosed in the academy, exactly how this works and everything. So if you go out and put one sign in one yard and you're like, well, nothing happened, I put a bandit sign in a yard because I didn't have any money to do any paid marketing or whatever. It's like, well, okay, now don't get me wrong, you could put that sign in the yard and get it, okay? But my point is, guys, if you do this, you're gonna make money, and this stuff is so legit. But I will give you your money back gladly if it's not legit for you. So thank you for attending. Guys, again, that $30, that 30-minute consult is gonna be awesome. So that's for the first 10 people only. I'm gonna give you the marketing setup. Everything you're gonna get is right here, guys. And ultimately, what's your why? What did it feel like when you were a kid? This got me back to feeling when colors were brighter, life's more enjoyable, and when you're thinking positively and you're happy and you can do what you want to do, where you want to do. But really, what's important is why do you want to do it and when do you want to do it? Because that's what it comes down to. So if you can identify why you want to do this and how soon you want to do it, then I've got the how for you as soon as you click the button. So what you're going to get, guys, again, real quick, how to get the phone ring with sellers saying, I want to sell you my house right now, immediately. What to send them to get it under contract, and then what to send it to your buyer to get it sold. How you're going to get those buyers. Coaching calls with me, a one-on-one 30-minute coaching call with me, where we talk about the whole plan. You're going to get all the scripts and to talk to the sellers and the buyers with video, and it's awesome. So everything you need. Total value, guys, is $15,000 if you're going to do all this. I'm not going to charge you for all that, but I absolutely think it's worth that and more. Let me ask you a question. If all this did was get you one $16,000 deal, would it be worth it? And I use that number because that's usually around where our average is at. What if I said it would get you a solid cash buyer database of people with money always looking for deals? So anytime you're at a deal, you're going to make a little bit extra money. So if you're already in real estate, I mean, holy smokes, how do you not need that? I mean, that's gold for all of us. And like I said, I'm always refining that. I just got an updated one this week from the title company. And then what if all it did was allow you to flip houses with no risk and no money? Would that be worth it? So guys, what you're going to get if you get all this for $1,000 today is all of that. You're going to get the phone ring, and you're going to get your life changed, and we're going to be interacting a lot and talking about real estate. And I'm really excited for that. I was going to bring Caesar onto the call, guys, and I didn't bring Caesar onto the call because I couldn't, because he texted me like an hour ago. He's, I'm so bummed out, man. I wanted to be on the call, and I got a seller calling me, and they're really motivated, and they're begging me to come to their house right now. I said, hey, I can come at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. They said, is there any way you can get here sooner? He goes, man, she really needs help right now. I'm going over there to lock up this deal. I said, man, I love it. So that's awesome. But I was going to bring him on because he's crushing it, guys. And Caesar wasn't doing any flip hacking. He'd done a couple flips where he'd buy a house and wholesale it. And this is a strategy I talked about too. He's already doing that, but then he wanted to do the real flip hacking. But we'll talk about wholesaling in the academy, where you buy the house, don't really do much of anything to it, and sell it really quickly. So you're buying it really right, but you're still kind of selling it like between wholesale and retail. You're a lot less choosy with the terms, but you can sometimes make more money, sometimes. But oftentimes than not, flip hacking is the way to go, and that's why Caesar's pretty much now flip hacking everything. We've actually flipped hacked a couple together. He's in Phoenix. And guys, a couple things I want to talk about too. If you guys are local, I know a lot of people on the call, we're going to be in Arizona. So we're going to start putting together a once a month mastermind, and I'll have more on that. It's going to be, obviously you got to be in the academy to be part of the mastermind. It's gonna be actually in person at our house. We got a really cool house in Uptown Central Phoenix. And so we're gonna do, you know, whatever it is, get together, network and do deals together, and not just like BS network, but actually make money. So we're gonna get this going. That's gonna be super cool. And then we've got a lot of stuff coming up out with, look, the fourth thing you do, and this is what was in the Facebook post this week, is you got to take all this money and you got to buy passive income properties. If you're not taking the money, if you're just spending the money, you're gonna get taxed for one, and then you're gonna get, it's gonna suck. So you got to buy passive income properties. So you take the money, you make $30,000 in a month, $80,000 in a month, $200,000 in a month or more. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to buy a rental property. I'm going to buy a rental property. I'm going to buy a rental property. And you start buying those, especially when you can, with all the marketing you're doing, getting sellers that will sell subject to or wraps, and you can get them for like $5,000 down or less. You can get as many of those as you can. So you start building this massive portfolio, and you're generating money on demand, and it's incredible. And whether you do a few of these deals and that's all you do, or whether you do a whole ton, I mean, that's what it's all about. So it's super awesome. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Guys, if you guys want in, here's what you got to do. Send me an email right now to josh@pdxphx.com. I'll immediately send you the link, and you have 30 minutes to buy it. And then we're good to go, right? So, and I'll be scheduling you, I'll be immediately sending you the academy, your login information. We'll be scheduling your call. It will be for after next week, because like I said, I'm going to, we're taking off today. As soon as this call's over, going over to LA. Gonna be checking that out. We're gonna be going up to Portland, back to LA, and coming back after the 4th. So I'll be doing calls after that, but we'll get you going immediately. You're gonna get everything. So you go through the academy. By the time you're through that, which hopefully this weekend or next week at the latest, or that weekend, then we're ready for the 30-minute call. We're gonna be filling those slots really quick, but we've basically dedicated that week to it. So it's gonna be really awesome. So if you still have questions, you can call the 623-252-3234 number, but what you gotta do is leave your full name, address, credit card number with expiration and 3-digit code and all that stuff. So I recommend you, if you really have questions, actually take that out, just send me an email. But I'm probably not going to get back to it for a while, and full disclosure. So you guys want to get on this? Like I said, you got to send me the email now, say I want it. I'll send you the link. You got 30 minutes, you get in, and we're gold, and we're going to run with this, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to change your life. So I'm excited, and guys, have a phenomenal day and weekend and 4th of July. And I'm going to see you later.